it is the best anabolic recipe you will ever try. I did promise a couple surprises here at the end, so let's get into surprise number one. And we're back at the taste test table yet again to talk about my top 5 anabolic high protein snacks. Before we dive in, I want to make sure that everybody stays to the end. I have a couple surprises to share with you, and if you get to the end, there'll be a special word that you can put in the comment section just to let me know that you made it to the finish line. However, before we get to the surprises, let's talk about the anabolic snacks that are in my top 5. First one is debatable because when we think of anabolic foods, we think about high volume, and when it comes to protein bars, they're generally not high volume. However, what I like about the Anabars, and these are my 2 favorite flavors by the way, the white chocolate cookies and cream and the peanut butter monster crunch. What I love about these is that even though they're not very high in volume, they can crush a craving for you and still give you a very high protein count at 20 grams in each bar. These feel like you're eating a candy bar. You know, let's not sugarcoat it, pun intended. There's lots of sugar, there's lots of fat compared to other protein bars, but if you can keep yourself to just one of these and you're tracking your calories and maybe even you're tracking your macros, you can still stay on track with these here, no problem. The only issue you run into is if you end up eating the whole box, which if you have no self-control, perhaps Anabars aren't the protein bar for you. But if you're looking for a nice, easy, convenient snack that's loaded with protein and can crush a sugar craving, this is going to be the protein bar that you should do, which is why it landed here at number 5. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the snacks that you can make at home, make them cheap, make them whenever you want, meal prep them, single servings. Let's get into the last 4 here, starting with my air fryer anabolic cinnamon rolls. I absolutely love this recipe. Don't get me wrong, I love my meal prep version of my anabolic cinnamon rolls. They are as equally delicious. However, the problem can be is that when you meal prep a bunch of food, you may be tempted to have perhaps more than you should. The best part about this recipe is that it tastes just as good, it has just as much protein, and you're only gonna have 1 serving, so you can eat it all. I don't know about all of you out there, but one of the saddest things for me is when all the food is gone from my plate, even if it's a snack, and I want to go back for more. However, if you just make this single serving recipe, you're going to be able to eat it all, and trust me, it's plenty of volume to keep you full in between meals. This snack is absolutely incredible for so many reasons. If you tried it, let me know, because I don't see how you could possibly have had a better cinnamon roll than this. Unless it was my meal prep version. We just wanted to break in real quick here to remind you to smash the like button, consider subscribing if you're not subscribed, and why don't you tell me in the comment section, what's your go-to anabolic recipe? Which one do you make the most often and why? Tell me in the comment section. All right, back to the video. Coming in at number 3 was a childhood favorite for me. If you've ever had the fruit pie, I'll put it up on the screen here. These were so delicious and obviously loaded with tons of sugar and probably tons of fat, but man, did they taste so good. The issues being they didn't have much if any protein in them, and in terms of volume, not fantastic. But if you've made my anabolic version of the fruit pie, well then you have had yourself quite the treat. This snack has a massive amount of volume when you look at it. When you're making it, you're wondering how the macros are what the macros are, because it feels like it should be a lot more. This one here is so incredible. Perfect recipe if you like apples and you like...
You like apples?
Yeah.
Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples?
Perfect recipe to get a super filling, super high protein snack in. If you like apples, you're gonna love this recipe. It's such a great, great treat to have. It's super easy to make. You're not gonna be disappointed. It's definitely one that's in my regular rotation, especially this time of year during the fall. It can definitely crush that apple pie craving. I'm telling you, you could bring this one to Thanksgiving. People aren't gonna know that it's a high protein snack. Serve it as an appetizer, slice it up, put some toothpicks in it, have a nice little dessert appetizer to pass around for the whole family and friends. They're gonna love it. And that brings us to the number 2 recipe on my top 5 list here, my high protein chocolate chip cookies. This is one of the original recipes that I came up with. If you can't believe that we made chocolate chip cookies with ricotta cheese, then you don't know what you're missing. This to me is the most anabolic, high protein chocolate chip cookie that's ever been made. Yes, giving myself a pat on the back there. They look great, they taste great, they meal prep great, they age like a fine wine over the course of a few days. I wouldn't keep them for longer than a week. This is always the first or the second one that I recommend they go for because they just simply do not disappoint. And that brings us to the number 1 anabolic snack that I would recommend, and the reason this one ended up at number 1 and it wasn't the chocolate chip cookies, and why I said that it's the chocolate chip cookies that are either 1 or 2 on my list of recommendations, is because this one is usually number 1, and it's my brownie recipes. And there's really 3 of them in the order that I like, so you're getting a little bonus here, but in the order that I like them, I enjoy the fudge brownies, the chocolate chip cookie brownies, and the Oreo cookies and cream brownies. If you make any one of these, they're easily going to be tied for first. They are the most authentic brownies that don't have to have soda in them, which to me still sounds so wrong, but you all rave about them out there, but I wouldn't do it. These recipes are on the money every single time. They taste like brownies, they look like brownies, they're a great meal prep recipe to have on hand throughout the week. You simply can't go wrong with either one. If you want me to pick one, I would say go with the fudge brownies first. That is the absolute best recipe, closest thing to an actual brownie you're ever going to see. That I can guarantee you. That's why they ended up here at number 1. They taste the most like actual brownies here, except they're low in fat, they're loaded with protein, they even have a higher fiber count. You simply can't go wrong with this one. It is the best anabolic recipe you will ever try. And there you have it. Those are my top 5 most favorite anabolic snacks. Curious what you all think of them. Have you tried them before? Are there others that you would put on this list? Let me know in the comment section. I did promise a couple surprises here at the end, so let's get into surprise number 1. First one being my new haircut. Rem, you just got to embrace it. It's great. But I want to know what you all think about this in the comment section as well. Let me know. Hashtag new haircut. And the last, but certainly not least of all the surprises that we have up is going to be, yes, you may have already heard if you're on Instagram, my cookbook is now available for pre-order. If you need the link, it's in the description down below. I appreciate any support you can give me on this. It's loaded with all the recipes you see here on the channel. Now they're all in your pocket. You can call them up. There's links in the table of contents. Go right to the recipe. You can read it and make it rather than watching and make it. You don't have to make any notes this time. It's all right there for your convenience. 65 plus recipes. It took a long time to put all the recipes together. I had no idea that it was going to take as long as it did, but the good news is that it's done. It's available for pre-order. It's going to be released in the coming days, depending on when you watch this video, or perhaps it's already out. So go to the link, give it a purchase. I appreciate any and all support that you can give me on this. It allows for me to make more recipes, more videos, I can post more often, and I'm happy to supply a great resource for you to have more of a convenient way to make the delicious recipes on this channel. But it's getting to be about that time. I gotta get up out of here, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye.